Hello. Well, we're back again on TALKSHOP, where we tell it like it is and let the chips fall where the bloody hell may. And as we say all the time on this show, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And finally, a promise we have made to the gendarme. We know they will always be there, but we are assuring them that we will always be here too, to counter all gendarme with the truth. Not to counter, suffocate the gendarme with the truth. Okay. And the final question I always ask, what time is it? And the answer you always give me is what? It's nation time. It's nation time. Nation time is you. But guess what? We're doing it for God and country, and we shall not surrender. They call full force. Now, today, you know what I want to talk about? Very, very interesting today. The first thing is my reaction on the state of the nation. I'm especially looking at the absurd reaction of the minority. The word absurd, I'm putting it mildly. It was some kind of way. And then the next thing I want to talk about is this. The president had mentioned that we should all be patient because the wheels of justice grind slowly. And today, all I'm saying is that, Mr. President, the peoples are worried, not because the wheels are grinding slowly. You know why people are worried? It seems that the wheels have come to a stop. But anyway, we'll talk about all this on this great show today, so stick around. But before we start, and it's going to be so hot, but before we start, two quick announcements. The first announcement is to our congregation out there, Ghana, US, Yugoslavia, wherever you are. Please, we want to encourage you that this is the only platform dedicated to building the nation. So as much as you can, share our stories and subscribe. If you have not subscribed to this platform, please subscribe ASAP to this platform and share. I'll be very, very happy if within the next few months I come here and tell you, Charlie, within the last few months we've got about 20,000 new followers. Okay. And the other announcement, I told you say two. The announcement on March 6th, man, we are hanging out at Cactus Creek. I see a lot of you abroad who come to Ghana. The first place you come to visit is Cactus Creek. I appreciate it. I've met all kinds of people from abroad who listen to this program, and when they come to Ghana, nearby Cactus Creek. Well, March 6th, we have OG, KSM, hosting my children, KSM and Sons, There are two fantastic comedians. One is called General Ntatia, and the other one is called Kojo PJ. They happen to be two of my favorites among many, many people. But I want to start hosting them. So be there on March 6th and join us. The number to call is 054-479-2100. Call the number. It's only 300. And it entitles you to some free chicken wings, some free fries, palm wine, Charlie. It'll be easy. Call the number right now, 054-479-2100. Make your reservation even before I finish speaking.
Hello people, this Independence Day at the Cactus Creek, KSM and Sons are bringing you the independence from all your pain, suffering and stress. Yes, the KSM and Sons, we are going to massage you. Kuria, kurijinjing. This one will not use here, but I will use laughter and humor to massage your body and your brains from all the stress that you've gone through. It's not easy. With just 300 Ghana cedis, come to the Cactus Creek 4 p.m. sharp and enjoy some fire comedy and humor. Even before the comedy, there is food you're going to eat, and even free SHS will not even do this for you. Guys, please come to Cactus Creek, the KSM and Sons Independence Day comedy show. I'm telling you, the independence is meaningless unless it is linked to the total liberation of your stress and pain and suffering. Freedom!
Hello, my lovely people. My name is General Ntatia. And on the 6th of March, I'm inviting you to the Cactus Creek, happening at Cactus Creek. OG is hosting General Ntatia, myself, and Kojo PJ at Cactus Creek. Please, it's going to be a comedy show. This one, you are going to laugh, sir. I can't stop laughing. So the ticket is only 300 cedis. When you pay your ticket, you are entitled to free chicken wings, free palm wine, and free fries. So please, the time is 4 p.m. sharp. Let's meet on the mountain at a Bree, Cactus Creek, and let's have fun. It's Independence Day. Ghana, we now have freedom. Everybody, come and let's have a good laugh. All
right. Now, folks, let's come back to business here. My first reaction is on the SONA. I mean, SONA, the presentation, very, very good. I mean, so far, so good. If you're talking about the system that was inherited and the kinds of accomplishments that have happened so far, I would say so far, so good. But I want to say something today, even before I start. When I was a kid, there was a song, when you said that, because when I was a kid, I know way back then, the song went like this. Otan huneya, ne sinkite, and so kawa unyadru. Otan huneya. Do you know what otan huneya is? Is that sometimes people can hate you for no reason. Well, they may have their reasons, but for no justifiable reason. And if an and that's a song. And why am I saying this today? It's because, I always say this joke. After the SONA, I listen to reactions from the minority after the SONA.
First of all, let me make one point clear. This was not a State of the Nation's address. This was a public lecture. That is my first observation. You don't need 2.5 hours to deliver the State of the Nation's address if your government is working. Because you have been in government for just 1 year. What at all can you do in 1 year? So it straight away, it tells you that this State of the Nation's address is pack of lies. There is no truth in anything that we heard today.
This government has not done nothing to make the economy better. All they came to see was what had been done. And this is what they go around making noise about. But ask yourself, what did they ever do? What have they done?
So this government, they have clearly specialized in the area of settings and deceiving the Ghanaian people day after day. The good job that the NPP left behind today is a foreshadow of itself. So I am not surprised at all that if we have a president that his people are praising him for inefficiency and urging him on for lack of performance, then it's a tragedy.
What the president failed to tell the people of Ghana is that 1 year in government, he's still acting with slogans, no action.
And then I remember this joke that I always tell. Imagine, now and specifically I'm talking to minority people. And I Ghana for you. Imagine I meet somebody in the minority. Let's say it's my own nephew, Afenyakin. Now say, Afenyakin, there's something amazing that happened, though, Mr. Afenyo. Can you imagine? I saw John Dramani Mahama, and he was walking on water. Hey! He was walking on water. Do you know what my nephew would say? So, me and you, KSM, do you know why I was walking on the water? It's because he can't swim. Anything against, we're there, we don't care, But no, I'm saying this as a joke, but honestly, it is to a level who just crept deeply into politics. It could happen on both sides. But it's not necessary. Now, let me just tell you something. And this one, I want to put yourselves in the shoes and be imaginative, be creative. I want all of you right now, listening to me, to imagine that back in the day when it was under the NPP and things started getting rough. Corruption was skyrocketing, the CD totally crashed. I mean, talk about GDP, BBR crash, talk about all the international rating agencies, they have granted Ghana to 0. They are making junk bonds. Do you remember where the inflation was at, around 54%? No, I want you to take your mind there. And I want you to pretend that all these things happened when the NPP was in power. And it did happen when they were in power. But now I want you to think of something else. Imagine with all this wahala going on, and let's say His Excellency Nadu came on air to address the nation and say, listen, Ghana, I know we're going through our hard times and you may be disappointed, but trust me, my vice, Excellency Bawumia, between him and I, we're going to put our heads together and we're going to fix the problem. Not in America, no. We're going to fix the problem. And let's say they put their heads together and they actually did fix the problem. So under NPP, let's say we saw the inflation drop from 54% down to where is it now, 3.8 under NPP. Let's say we saw the cedi appreciating at one point in $1 to 17 cedis. And then let's say they worked hard, and under Nanado and Bawumia, it came all the way down to 11, 10, 12, that area. Let's say under the NPP, after the speech by Nanado, things started changing. Fuel prices started reducing, and the whole Ghana was seeing these effects under NPP. I just want you to imagine, what do you think would have happened? What speech will Nanado have given? And what speech will Bawumia, His Excellency, also would have given? I told you Ghanaians, we had a solid team.
When I look at the economic management team, it is quite clearly a fantastic team. Professor Jambafo, Dr. Akotose, Dr. Afriye Akoto, Honorable Alan Chiramanting, Boachi Ejaku, Ken Oforiata, Senior Minister Yao Osafo Mafu. What a solid team.
We have a solid team, and you see how we have turned things around. I mean, and rightfully so, they would have gloated. But set that aside, though. Let's come to Parliament. Let's say it was under Parliament, NPP is in power, they've been able to bring down everything and get Ghana working again. I want you to imagine what Mr. Afenyomakin would have said in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I think for once we should all congratulate His Excellency the President and the Vice President. Mr. Speaker, I beg all of us to rise and applaud for them, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this is unorthodox. But for the first time, for our president and the vice to be able to manage the economy and restore it in such a beautiful way, Mr. Speaker, I think we should all rise up and applaud for them, Mr. Speaker. My nephew Afenyo, wouldn't you have said that? If that had happened under the NPP, you would have praised it. You would have applauded it. Rightfully so. Why not? It would have been amazing progress to have been able to bring the dollar from 17 to 10 or 11 or whatever. It would have been an amazing accomplishment. And you would have celebrated it. The point I'm making, talking all this is this. Because the same thing happened, but not under Nanado, but it happened to happen under Dramani. My nephew, what was your reaction? Oh, now when we are talking seriousness, we're talking macro economy and the microeconomy, macro ED.
And they are here telling us inflation, macroeconomics, they ready. Macroeconomics, they ready.
That was the reaction, macro ED. And I can bet you that if this had happened as I was conjecturing under the NPP, you would have tabled a motion that we should all stand up and applaud. So when one person does it, it deserves applause. When it happens to another, forget it. It is nothing. So, folks, all I'm saying is this. On a day like this, that the president gives some really good news. Me Pacho, this is not a partisan statement. This is a statement of fact. From where the economy was to within 1 year, the magic that happened to be where we are now.
Mr. Speaker, when I last came before this House, I spoke candidly about the depth of the challenges we had inherited across all facets of our nation. Mr. Speaker, nowhere was this national malaise more evident than in the economic sector. We inherited an economy in severe crisis, burdened by unsustainable debt, high inflation, a rapidly depreciating currency, and an escalating cost of living crisis that had left our citizens reeling from unimaginable hardship caused by years of general imprudence and reckless management of the economy. Mr. Speaker, I was clear from the outset that recovery would not come easily. But I was also clear that I'll stop at nothing to turn this situation around and bring relief to Ghanaians. I promised then that just as I have confronted and overcome crisis in the past, I'll reset our economy and return us to a path of growth, progress, and development. Mr. Speaker, I told this August House then, when I appeared before you last year, that we would have to take tough, prudent, and necessary decisions to restore stability and credibility. Today, Mr. Speaker, I can say to you with confidence, Ghana is back. Ghana is working again.
It's remarkable. End of discussion. But guess what? The minority decided to show up in black. I almost wore my black while I forgot. Producer, I'm blaming you. I told you to remind me. I forget things. I wanted to wear my black, man, then have my kintestu here and then my cocoa pod. But I missed it. The producer's fault. He didn't remind me. You know, on an occasion like this, you all came in black. Black is fine. Black is beautiful. Black power. But traditionally, black is a state of mourning. Black is bad news. Black is something that has happened that calls for sorrow. So, minority, between your own and your own God, you could actually look Ghanaians in the face and tell Ghanaians that this is a day of sorrow.
I'm in black because we couldn't have worn white to meet the president at a time that farmers were mourning, grieving over this cocoa cuts in terms of payment due them. We couldn't have worn white to meet the president at a time that over 100,000 young people had their appointment terminated by the stroke of a pen. We couldn't have worn white when Ghanaians were killed, murdered, and burnt alive in Burkina Faso just to trade, to purchase goods for the Ghanaian market. We couldn't have worn white at a time that electricity, the tariff hikes, even the promises that they made, apart from it not being followed. Last year, after the State of the Nation's address alone, you had Ghanaian people experiencing 30% hikes in terms of electricity tariff. But in actual sense, it's in excess of 100%. So clearly, if I'm in black today, it is because of these conditions that we are in black.
It's interesting. This is a day of sorrow to be all black. When you know, every single one of you know, that there has been massive improvement in the country. Of course, the Biamekam is in the dorsal, which means, yeah, great things have happened, but the greater things that are supposed to happen, they haven't come yet. I always say that. I don't like complacency. So all I'm saying is that obviously we have had some remarkable strides. And so to appear in black cloth in a state of mourning, you know, and I remember singing and help us to resist oppressors' rule. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If there's anybody who truly believes that John Dramani Mahama is an oppressor, maybe I should go and get myself mentally checked. Or they should get themselves mentally checked. Oppressor? Help us to resist oppressors' rule. Really? From where we have come from to this era where the president is so cordial and respectful to everybody, doesn't order chiefs to get up and greet him. We have come here to hear that you're singing that we should resist the oppressor's rule. I won't say anything. Here is where I say no comment. I also join you to help us resist the oppressor's rule. This is very interesting because it takes me to my next subject. This same oppressor's rule, that we are under, that you are singing that God should help us resist this oppressor's rule, this same oppressor's rule have people in the country who are telling the so-called oppressor, Master, why are you so slow? Why aren't there trials and investigations, Master? We are slow.
Number of votes into office should tell him something. It's not because Ghanaians felt he is that handsome man or a gentleman or maybe that played a role. I mean, everyone looked at his character and his person and voted. But the main thing that I always find people discuss is whether he's able to fight corruption. Because as an anti-corruption agent, I always come across people who will tell us, those who campaigned for John Mahama, to warn him to prosecute the the crimes of the ex-war regime. They don't see why President Mahama hasn't really found his way to put a tribunal together, or maybe something like a fast-track high court to really line up people who are trying to, find their moral rights in society. His Excellency's behavior, we condemn it publicly to tell that, look, his gentility is one of the bane of progress of his governments.
This is the first time I've heard an oppressor being told, say, Charlie, and feel you. Not that we don't feel you, we feel your work you've done in the economy, we feel the roads, we feel the currency, we feel that Ghana has now taken its stand rightfully against in the nation, College of Nations, everything we feel. But Mr. Oppressor, you feel uvim. Because there were many people that we know and that we have heard and read that have done so many wrongs against this country. So many wrongs. There has been massive looting of the country. And get this, folks, there have been so much massive looting that people are even getting to the point where they are depressed. Maybe we need an oppressor because things will be happening. I'm just saying this, that to hear people singing under Mahama that God should save us from oppressor's rule baffles me. Because Ghanaians are actually saying that the Vim.
Why are all those thieves who stole this country's money, and you saw it, still walking in the streets and having the effrontery to be saying the things that they are saying? And I was stunned that, a cleaner in a hotel will confront me so frontally. And he looked me in the face and told me that, leader, we voted you people so that you will fight corruption. we want you to fight corruption. Mr. Speaker, if we don't hold each other accountable and fight corruption, there is no greater threat to democracy than failing to fight corruption. Those of you who know the history of this country, go and check the records. Anytime that a democracy has been overthrown, the first reason that the military dictatorship gives is that there was massive corruption and they were not fighting corruption. So fighting corruption is the surest way to sustain and preserve our democracy, in addition to delivering on social and economic goods.
You know, we are still on the State of the Union. You know, remarkable accomplishments, everything online, and I always say, I hope that we stay on course and produce a line. The only thing that I'm sure many people are possibly telling Mr. President John Dramani Mahama, Your Excellency, the patro nidium, we beg to differ. It's everything he said. We said, okay, we see the progress. We appreciate it. It's beautiful. But the only place that we beg to differ is when Your Excellency told us that the wheels of justice grind slowly.
As President Mills of blessed memory said, he said, and I quote, "The wheels of justice grind slowly, but they grind exceedingly fine."
And Mr. President, take it from me, I wish you well. I have come to declare this platform a platform to build a nation. I have come to declare on this platform that I will back you and the NDC, and I'll back any agenda that will reset this country. I'm on record. You can go back and look at my shows. This is something I've always said, that I back you and I want you well. So I don't want you to misconstrue this as a non-backing. I'm just saying this, Mr. President, that we understand that the wheels of justice can grind slowly. But I think that there's a problem when the thing is so slow that people think that the wheels have stopped. I kid you not, too. I'm not saying this, so people that I talk to, people who call me, people who respond to me, and there are many, apart from a very desperate few. I can say that, Your Excellency, the people that tell me their fear is that the wheels are not just grinding slowly. They have a feeling maybe it has stopped or going through slowly. So, Mr. President, this same platform that is backing you, that is backing nation building, this same platform that is saying, please, let all of Ghanaians come together for once and support a cause that we are backing on, say, we are going to rebuild Ghana. And I like when you said that Ghana is back.
Today, Mr. Speaker, I can say to you with confidence, Ghana is back. Ghana is working again.
Amen to that. Ghana is back. I like you when you mentioned that all the credit agencies that rate Ghana, international credit agencies, all of them downgraded Ghana. They downgraded us. All of them called us junk bonds. That was the level to which we were downgraded. But thanks to you, your economic advisor, to Forsen, and the Bank of Ghana, whatever you're doing now, yes, Ghana is actually coming back.
Mr. Speaker, our reserves currently stand at $13.8 billion from $8.9 billion at the end of 2024. This covers 5.7 months of import. A key driver of this development has been the establishment of the Ghana Gold Board. By formalizing gold exports, we have reduced smuggling, we have increased recorded exports in the artisanal and small-scale mining sector from 63.6 tons to 103 tons. And we've channeled that foreign exchange into our economy. Mr. Speaker, when the cedi stabilizes, imported inflation falls, businesses can plan better, and household incomes improve.
Ghana is coming back. And when you said, and I agree with you, that Ghana is now open for business, I agree with you.
Ghana is working again. And Ghana is open for business.
No businessman wants to put their money or investment in an economy that is grounded junk. So yes, Ghana is back. But on the behalf of the people that talk to me all the time, there is some truth about their worry. And let me say, Mr. President, I understand you perfectly that we have what we call the rule of law. And I understand when you said that when you took over as president, you swore to Ghanaians that you abide by the rule of law.
Mr. Speaker, I understand that a large majority of Ghanaians are impatient to see those who abuse their public trust in office held to account. Mr. Speaker, there were periods when, under military regimes and unconstitutional governments, extrajudicial means could be used to exact retribution against persons perceived as corrupt or who had abused the mandate given to them by the people. Mr. Speaker, this may have appeared as swift justice, but many regrettable excesses were recorded. In 1992, we overwhelmingly adopted the 1992 Constitution to accept governance by the rule of law. On 7th January, when I swore the oath of office before the people of Ghana, I swore to uphold the 1992 Constitution. I may be as impatient as everyone else to see justice done, but painstaking investigations must be conducted. Dockets must be prepared, charges must be filed, and the accused must have their day in court, including appealing, even on the smallest point of law, to higher courts. This process is necessary to protect us all against abuse or ill treatment of citizens, and to ensure that only those guilty of offenses against the state are punished.
And for that, I respect you and I thank you. And trust me, Ghanaians respect that. And Ghanaians thank you for that. They know that you really do abide with the rule of law. That's why, to me, when people are thinking that they should help us resist oppressors' rule, I think Meya Bodam and Naumana Bodam, I don't know, one of us. All I'm saying is that, yes, you do abide by the rule of law. But I think the fear of Ghanaians is this, that maybe the rule of law has certain openings in the rule of law. Maybe the rule of law has certain weaknesses within it that allow criminals to benefit from the rule of law. That's all people are saying. Oh, we respect the rule of law. But are we saying, shall we really focus? And maybe if there are certain elements of the rule of law that, for example, allow people who are allegedly criminals to take advantage of, maybe, with all respects, let's close those gaps. And once we have closed those gaps, we will see some kind of difference. You know, I'll do another program, not today. I'll do another program, and it's called The Rule of Whose Law. It's a very, very interesting program, and possibly going to be quite controversial, but I'm going to do it. You know, we all talk about the rule of law. We all respect the rule of law. We all want to live by the rule of law, but sometimes we talk about the rule of whose law. And I explained that in another program, not now. But what I think Ghanaians are going through is this. We appreciate the amazing development. Mr. President, don't let anybody lie to you about that. We appreciate it all. I mean, me and Jinahui, when I go to the tank and I'm filling my fuel, sometimes I spend as much as 500 cedis less. Not tank na. All that money is now available for me to do something else. Why won't I appreciate this? When I'm going to buy things and I realize that the price has lowered to the point that I get unexpected windfall, I use that to do other things. So this is great. And for all of you people out there who says, nah, macroeconomy, yedi.
And they are here telling us inflation, macroeconomics, they ready. Macroeconomics, they ready.
Let me dwell on you for a second. I'll come back to this. When you're growing and you're a child, your brain has not developed that much because you're a child, you're just growing. Do you realize what you do? If you have forgotten, look at your own child. When they are getting growing up, when they start the ability to use their arms, what do? When they pick up anything, the first thing is what? They take it to their mouth. The first thing they do is take whatever they pick. It can be, pardon my language, it can be feces. The hen has just gone feces on the floor. When the baby is crawling, he will sit down and then take it to their mouth. This shows you that that's a very elementary action. And when you are starting to grow, the first thing you know is that everything should go to your mouth. But please grow up. As you're growing, you realize that no. And there are some things that don't go to your mouth, but has other benefits. And you. So when somebody is saying, say, the macroeconomy, it simply means that now, when I go and buy fuel, I have excess in my pocket, and I can use that excess to buy food or to buy drugs or to do something. And then what symbolically called yedi. It's not everything that's food, but once you have excess enough on you so that you can do other things that before you couldn't do, it is simply called, say, yedi. So to that effect, yes, when the macroeconomy is good and the macroeconomy is good, you have such little things, excesses, that can be used for other things. So those who are asking macroeconomy yedi no, pacho yedi. And you just say like a baby you. It's just that there are other things you can do that can help put your body and soul together. And then so let's move away from that. All I'm saying, coming back to my point, is that yes, we respect and appreciate where we have come from, Master. I'm telling you, the fuel prices alone for me actually does a lot for me. So many things I can now do with the money that I have because the macroeconomic outlook is very good. I'm able to save, and it's that with everybody. You see, there are some things that are really worrying now, like the price of electricity. You think I won't complain? When would I complain? Master, I have a business and have light bills, and they are outrageous. Completely. And for me, the government, the administration, should really sit up and see immediately what has gone wrong. I mean, for one thing, I know that as part of the money we're going to get from the IMF, I think we're going to get 2 billion. As part of the negotiation, it was like, well, certain things have to go up. And tariffs were included as part of the negotiation. Pacho, you better your light bill so. And that is what we are facing now. And two things I have to say. Number one, if that is true, it happened when the MPP signed that contract. So I think it is very, very, very sad If members of the same MPP now will hold us and use us as a card against the government, say, the my light bill, no?
I got 4,000 cities before 14 days now. All is done. Yesterday I had to pay 10,000 ahead of time because I know that the electricity I'm buying will not take me more than 3 weeks. What are we talking about?
When you know that that decision was even made before they came into power. That's the first thing I want to say. The second thing I want to say too is this. Please, we are just saying that it is hurting us. Mr. President, please, all the gains we have made from the fuel pump and everything, you know, when it comes to electricity, it sucks all the gains. So here too, the appeal is whatever can be done. I know there's a PRC and bodies who are actually supposed to be handling this. PRC, Patro, what are you going to be able to do about this? Sit, go into a meeting, plan, and really put things apart and understand the nature of what is going on. And please come out and say, we have put everything together, maybe we can save you just this little bit. So it needs to be done. Unless it's something we have signed with the IMF so we can't change, then that's a problem. If it's something we have signed with the IMF so we can't change, then the problem is we need the intelligent lawyers and ministers and the president, all of you to come and say, yes, we signed this at the certain point, but now that we have shown you that things have changed.
Anytime I meet the IMF officials and the World Bank officials, they themselves cannot believe, what has happened in Ghana. So Ghana has now become the poster boy, of the IMF and the World Bank. So when they go to other African countries, they say, don't you see Ghana? Look at what Ghana has done.
And now that we have shown you that we will clear the bills, we have cleared most of them anyway. We have put enough record in place for you to understand that you can trust us. Let's renegotiate that part. And please, let's renegotiate that part on the light bill to bring relief, because that component alone is bringing down many of the gains that you have given to Ghanaians. It is. Whatever is necessary to do, Mr. President, I don't know whether you can renegotiate. I mean, there's an amendment tells you, me a comedian. Somebody once met me and said, okay, so I'm trying to understand. Are you a comedian or are you a politician? Then I asked them, what's the difference? That's it. We are some on the other side. I have to throw in some light stuff every now and then. But honestly, I think even if that's a World Bank requirement, we have to renegotiate so that we get a little bit of relief, because it is actually slowing down the good things that we're doing. I think I saw this guy on TV, who was saying that he's thankful for the changes that are happening. He says the price of flour has come down. He's not able to purchase the flour. It has come down to a great level. He now bakes his bread, and actually he now makes profit from baking the bread. But unfortunately, when it gets to paying electricity bills, that sucks up every profit he has made. So he's back to square one.
Last year, one flour is 740, but now it's 710. Reduced 30 cedis. The margin too has come down, but electricity has gone up. Water has gone up. First, like I can buy 200 cedis light a week, but now it's double.
So basically, I think we should be able to tell the IMF, say, yeah, we did this for money that we needed then. We thank you, we got it. We are changing, we are paying up, blah, 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 blah. But let's negotiate this clause. Because, Mr. President, if you don't do that and negotiate that clause, the same people who put that clause in, for which you are suffering, are now looking at you and saying, so that's why BBA. It is very sad, but that is the nature of politics in Africa, and that's the truth of the reality. Do something about it, whatever it is you can do. It is drawing down thing. And the other thing too that I have to come back on is that I, for one, I am with you, I agree with you, I back you. Anything that can be done using my platform to push a reset agenda, I will do it. The reset goes beyond just Ghana. It has now a continental outlook. I have a headquarters outside of Ghana. So it is something that I pledge that this platform will be used to back you. But my final plea before I end again is this. Please, I understand how the Wheels of Justice has its own life. But the people of Ghana understand that as well. Only they think. They don't feel the grinding. If the grinding is so slow, say unfilia. I'm gonna send the you know. I remember back in the day when the Attorney General would come and give us accountability series and come and talk. Yeah, people were following and we had things. This is what Wontumi did.
Our investigations established that Chairman Wontumi had approached KSM Enterprise, an industrial equipment dealer, and obtained an invoice with a promise to return to purchase the said equipment. He never went back to purchase the equipment. Instead, and this is where the criminal enterprise began, he forged the invoice he obtained from KSM Enterprise by removing the word invoice and replacing it with receipt. This forged receipt was then submitted to Exim Bank as proof that he had purchased the equipment after the disbursement of the loan facility. Investigations established that Chairman Wontumi did not purchase any equipment and as such could not register any equipment in the joint names of Exim Bank and Wontumi Farms Limited as per the loan conditions, even though funds were disbursed to him to that effect, a contract, but constitute acts of criminality by no means a person than the regional chairman of the then ruling party. In the circumstances and the face of the evidence we have gathered in this investigation, thoroughly conducted by the Economic and Organized Crime Office, we have made the decision to prosecute Wontumi Farms and its directors with defrauding by false pretenses, forgery, and causing financial loss to the state in the sum of 24,255,735 Ghana cedis.
This is what Gifty did.
Ladies and gentlemen of the media and my fellow countrymen and women, having concluded our investigations, we'll be filing charges against 12 suspects who worked as directors and staff of the NSA. I've already listed them, but for the abundance of doubt, let me mention them again. These are Mustafa Yusuf, a former executive director, Osea Sibe Entry, former director general, Gifty Owari Mensah, former deputy executive director. It can tell you where we are headed with this investigation. And when the trial starts, with this prosecution, when the trial starts, you'll get to know the evidence that we have meticulously gathered from February when I took over the oral report and handed them over to NIB to the present. Having provided this factual background, our position is clear that these persons are reasonably suspected to have committed crimes and shall be charged accordingly with the following crimes: stealing, contrary to Section 1241 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960, Act 29. Conspiracy to steal, contrary to Sections 23.1 and 124.1 of the Criminal and Other Offences Act. Willfully causing financial loss to the state, contrary to Section 179A3A of the Criminal and Other Offences Act. Using public office for profit, contrary to Section 179CA of the Criminal and Other Offences Act. Obtaining public property by false statements, contrary to Section 5 of the Public Property Protection Decree 1977, SMCD 140. Money laundering, contrary to Section 1, subsection 2C of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1044, and conspiracy to commit money laundering, contrary to Section 3 of the Anti-Money Laundering Act 2020, Act 1020. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, as part of the oral agenda, I have ordered that a comprehensive investigation of the assets of these persons be conducted. That investigation is ongoing, and we shall be pursuing the suspect to retrieve funds attributable to them and assets they have acquired using those funds.
This is what Dubois did.
The investigations also established that the proceeds from the suspect's activities were used to buy significant landed properties and other assets of considerable value both in Ghana and elsewhere.
To say that the sum of 39,462,480 Ghana cedis of taxpayers' money went into their private pocket.
He gave us accountability and we're following. Say, wow, all this mess happened. This plus many more.
Economic and organized crime began an investigation into the matter. Ekua Poma also alleged that Akpalu forged her signature on the cocoa board contract using her former name, Mercy Owusu, to secure the agreement without her authorization. The suspects who have been investigated are Percival Kofi Akpalu, Poma Ghana Limited, the Poma with the H, and Delvin Akpalu, his wife. That is the spouse of Kofi Akpalu. The evidence shows that they engage in various criminal offenses, including stealing, forgery, and money laundering.
Now, I don't even see the accountability series. If I haven't seen it, then maybe it's my fault because I don't watch too much TV again, but I used to hear it. Now, I don't even see it. So that's why I'm saying that people are starting to think that the grinding too slow has become even slower. And worse than the slow crown officers see the agenda. So please, Mr. President, advise the AG to immediately start the accountability series. And AG, please, with all respect, you and I know that I've been trying to get you on this show, but you know why you haven't come. That one I won't say you and I know. But me, I'm cool. I'm cool. This is not an oppressor's rule. So, you know, brown but the show will continue to go on for God and country. But Mr. AG, let me advise you to begin the series again. Update us. Let us have a feeling that work is going on. Then we can know that it is going on, but maybe it's grinding slowly. But when we don't feel it, cry their ass a jai. I beg, Mr. Remunacha, you are my main man. You and I know that I've invited you. But here, let me say that only you know why you haven't come. I don't know what is I do. Me, one of the easiest persons to hang out with. Everyone come more, your best, but I will want the answers. You have to. Otherwise, then why come here? So it's because of that. Meaning, there are people I'll call, oh, yeah, we'll come. So at this point, all I'm saying is this, Raymond, we need to hear from you. The president mentioned that you had achieved some amazing successes. We talked so many millions of CDs or dollars that you have been able to get.
As of December 2025, Yoko has recovered more than 600 million Ghana cedis.
It is sad that I heard it for the first time from the president. If you have an active communication team that is doing it, maybe I would have heard it. But it's sad that I heard it from the president. You could cry with. But you know why? We don't feel the momentum. Who did you retrieve it from? How much did they have? And how much have they given you? We want to know all of this though. That's part of the rule of law, Mr. President. The rule of law includes accountability and transparency. It's a rule of law, no. So don't let the president come and tell me months later, say, why are you not telling us? We need to know. We need to feel it. Pacho, I'm getting towards the end of my show, and I thank you for listening. So basically, Mr. President, today, all I'm telling you is that we love what you have done. We appreciate what you have done. I have volunteered this platform to support the cause of what you're doing. But we beg you, the wheels of justice seems, listen to my English very well, oh, one can say they have granted to a hold, oh. It seems to have granted to a hold because of the inactivity or inactiveness of the Attorney General and all those bodies that are responsible for this. We are waiting. But before I end today, it's very important for me to say two things. Your Excellency, the first thing that I love what you said is that your idea was not to arrest the CD. Your idea was not to arrest the CD and lock the key and throw it away. No. Your idea was to strengthen the city so the city can get swag and compete on its own against the dollar.
We made currency stability a priority, and Mr. Speaker, we have delivered. Mr. Speaker, we did not arrest the dollar. We strengthened the CD to put up a good fight against the other currencies.
Charlie, that was awesome. Showing some love, man. Wow. And the final thing you said, for which I am also very, very happy, and to let you know that I'm also fastening my seat belt, because you say we are about to take off. So we should brace ourselves for the takeoff.
We are restoring hope by delivering on our promises and proving that good leadership makes a measurable difference in our people's lives. The Resetting Ghana agenda is working. The Accra Reset is gaining momentum. And together they are laying the foundation for a stronger, more resilient, and more prosperous Ghana. Mr. Speaker, our nation is on the runway. It is in takeoff mode. And you are all advised to fasten your seat belts.
The seat belts just caution you that shall be in shape, because we are going to take off. There may be a bit of turbulence here and there, but we're taking off.
Our nation is on the brink of takeoff, and so ladies and gentlemen, passengers, fasten your seat belts.
And once we take off, heaven knows that we shall get there. But until then, I will never give up. You have started well. We appreciate the direction. We hope and trust that this will go on till the end, so that we can freely shout that yes, Ghana is back, Ghana is open for business, and Ghana has risen again.